Okay, guys, so today we're going to be doing What If Deku is Power Hungry? Today I'm joined by both of the other Heavenly Kings. Say hello.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
And yeah, as I said before, we're going to be doing What If Deku is Power Hungry? So, we'll stop all the talking and let's just get straight into it. Play the intro.
I've been thinking way out of my element. They was speaking the smoke, I'm inhaling it. But we know you a bitch and you terrible. She was eating my dick like an edible. I throw game to my niggas to bet them. They done gave me the cards and I'm setting them. Brody gave me the perks and I'm setting
Story as in canon, but when everybody was unlocking their quirks at preschool, and he saw Bakugo had had an explosion quirk to the sparks, he basically got jealous since everybody was just clowning on him that he didn't have one. And so for years he started looking up ways trying to get a quirk, even though he's quirkless, trying to get power, so that he could eventually beat Bakugo and show everybody that he's better. And so after about like 4 years, I'd say, when he's 8, he just be somewhere in Tokyo, just exploring while on his phone, trying to find a way. God damn it. Anyway, so yeah, he better be looking, and he'd see somebody in an alley killing somebody with this weird quirk. Just by touching them, they died. And Deku knew that it was dangerous, but he decided to go to them anyway. And so he walked up to them, and he saw a guy in a suit. And this guy basically asked Deku what does he want, and Deku asked if he could give him a power. The guy would chuckle, thinking that this kid is just being dumb or some shit. And then he basically would have touched Deku, which Deku would know that anything that that guy touches, it would get destroyed, but he's still just staying still. So that guy would just find that amusing, and he basically told Deku to follow him as they basically just walked through this portal. And once they went to the portal, they'd be in this small little bar, and the guy basically asked Deku if he really wanted a quirk that badly. Deku said yes, of course, and the guy asked if he's willing to do anything for it. Yeah, Deku said yes again, and so the guy told him to go and well, not he basically just told Deku to go to a store and basically go behind the cashier and rob him. And so they teleported Deku out, and he went to a grocery store, and he did it. He basically he jumped over the counter and he kicked the cashier's shin, and then he got all the money, and then he dipped. And so he got teleported back, and they were just laughing that he actually did it, since they didn't really think that he actually would. And so the guy basically just touched Deku's arm, and Deku got a brand on him. Then the guy told Deku if he wanted any more power, just come to the same alleyway. And so this will go on for a few years, Deku doing tasks for the guy, and him getting powers. Getting quirks. And so about like a month later, after getting the brand, which is before like the time skip before he's in middle school, he'd basically he basically tell Bakugo that he has a quirk, and Bakugo wouldn't believe him. And so Bakugo would get close to him, and Bakugo would have this like just bubble around his head, and he'd be like, and he'd just be laughing at Deku until Deku would start to make oxygen not be in the bubble anymore, and Bakugo would just slowly start to lose oxygen, then start to choke. Deku would take the bubble off and then put it around Bakugo's body, and whenever Bakugo tried to move, he'd start to get fucking he started to get cut by the bubble. And so Bakugo would just be confused and tell Deku to stop before he kills him. And Deku said, and Deku just didn't stop and said, "Why should I? After everything y'all guys did to me and all that shit." And so he eventually.
Your mic cut out.
At what part?
Oh, when you said after what all you did to me and all that shit.
And so after he said, after all that you did to me, he basically he'd stop after a teacher came and he'd just sit down, and so would Bakugo. And he basically gets sent to the office for doing that to Bakugo, and he gets suspended. Years later, when he's in middle school, he'd have about 5 quirks, which I'll list them in the chat, and so go.
So basically, when Deku was in middle school, everyone would be kind of, how do I say this? A little space careful of Deku because well, they knew that Deku didn't have a quirk, and to then have multiple quirks, it was sudden and like not known. And a lot of people would stay away from Deku because he was known as the boy who the weirdo, basically. Yeah, he was known as the weirdo. But they wouldn't say this in, in front of Deku or anyone else because they knew if they said this, then Deku would kill them. Well, not kill them, but beat them up. And yeah, and that basically goes on throughout the middle school, and Deku makes some friends. And those 2 friends will be important to the story later. So when Deku is walking, he takes a shortcut because he doesn't want to make his mom worried, and the sludge villain would appear. And before the sludge, like he would just walk towards the sludge villain. Like if he wasn't looking for a fight, he was just trying to surprise the sludge villain so he could just walk and carry on with his day. But the sludge villain wasn't trying to have any of that, and just like went towards Deku and tried to steal his body. And Deku he trapped the sludge villain into a force field, and he would compress the force field into a tiny little ball and just throw the sludge villain inside of a sewer or something. And then he would just walk away, not meeting All Might because he was too fast. And well, he would hear All Might, but well, he would barely hear All Might, and he would just like walk away. Before All Might could question the kid, Deku would be gone from his sight. Deku would walk home and see Inko making. Well, the day would carry on. I guess. Deku would turn on the TV and watch the news, and he would see a report of a substance in the water that would basically like the water is now contaminated, and anyone that drinks it will either die or just decay. And Deku wouldn't care. Well, he would care, but he wouldn't. Deku wouldn't. He would be surprised by this, but he wouldn't think that it's a sludge villain that was doing this or at all. And Deku would walk out of the his room because that's where like the computer is and stuff. And he would see Inko. I'm sorry, pouring some water. And Inko wouldn't be pouring the water; she would already be drinking the water. And Deku would just look at Inko. He would fall down to the ground and basically be no. He would just run the Inko until her to spit it out, and Inko was already swallowing it, and it was like already inside her body. Deku would be he would be completely he would be so he would he would be speechless. He would he wouldn't think that this would happen so early inside his life. And the fact that he couldn't even stop his mom from drinking it. And Deku would basically go to the doctor as soon as he can and tell Inko about the news. About like how the water is contaminated and stuff. And yeah. The doctors would perform surgery on Inko. Well, actually no they wouldn't. And because it's a new thing and it's just arrived, they don't have like a cure or anything for it to be fixed yet by. And the doctors would say, we don't have time. We don't have time to waste for one human. We have millions of people that are more important than her. And they would just carry on about their day. And Deku would be pissed by this. More important. He would just look at the doctors completely just with menacing eyes. And he would just be mad. The doctors wouldn't care and be like, oh, you gonna punch me? And Deku wouldn't because if he bloodlust, my bad. He would be emitting bloodlust. His eyes would get sharp and he would just be mad at the doctors. The doctors would say sarcastically, oh, you're gonna hit me? And Deku knew he couldn't hit the doctors because of the camera feed. And even if he did, the doctors probably had like they could probably file a lawsuit against him if he did touch them. Well, after the doctors would be scared by this, but they knew that Deku wouldn't touch him. Deku, they would call security and get Deku out of there. Inko would be slowly decaying. Her finger would be like slowly decaying. Deku would basically say, he would hold his mom's hand. It's going to be okay. I'm going to find a cure, and we're going to be okay. I know. You're going to be okay. Inko would be like, if she would try to be strong for Deku, but she knew that it wouldn't even matter right now because if there's no way that the doctors can fix it, then how is Deku going to fix it? She's just like scared. And Deku and his mom are really rich, so even if they tried to call the best doctor they could, they'd be in debt, major debt. And that's not something that Deku wants to be in. And he would basically just he would just think of many ways, just like, he would search your mom's stuff about contaminated water, and he would learn out, if he would learn that there's like green sludge inside of the water. And Deku would just slowly flash back to when he just put the force field around the sludge field and threw it inside the sewers. Is this my fault? Deku would say. I did this. Uh, Deku would laugh to himself. I did this, and he would just be mad. Oh, when that an area around Inko, he would just like go to an area where he could say, "This is my fault," and he would say, "Show stop." Okay, I'm sorry. And Deku would just be venting about what he could do, and the guy doesn't just the guy doesn't give him specified quirks. He just gives him random quirks. Well, powers. I really want to say he's he he's out of options. His mom is gonna die, and he can't do anything. And that is basically. Bro, I'm about it. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for interrupting the what if like this. Okay, so Deku would fall down to his knees, and Ninko would just hug Deku and say, and her entire hand would be gone. She'd just be slowly decaying. Deku would say, I'm sorry. It's my fault. Inko would be confused by this, and then Deku would explain what happened. And Inko wouldn't, if she wouldn't like, if she doesn't want Deku to feel bad, and even if it is Deku's fault, she can understand it or like relate with it. Because a lot of things happened that was her fault. Deku would just like, so this is kind of funny. I don't know if this is actually gonna work. Because even if it does work, there's a chance that it might backfire and Nico might turn into a zombie, a devil. It doesn't matter. She might turn into something like that. And yeah, that's what. And Deku would search up like rituals. Even if it's fake, there's a chance because what can he do at this point? The doctors can't help him. The person that always gives him power can't even give him the power he wants. What else can he do at this point? And he'll basically search up immortal ritual, I guess you could say, or something like that. They would saving code, and he sees one, and he clicks it, and Deku would just see ads upon ads, ADS. Okay, ADS, and he would just be, looking up all of them, and he would see the rituals, and he would see bullshit like wolf teeth and everything like that. He would just, I don't have time. Please. And Deku would see as um basically a ritual it, everything just like just something like that. And actually is yeah, sure. Okay, so Inko's Inko's arm would be gone while Deku is thinking and searching all this. and he would actually find a real one, and well, no, and he would just like do it just to give Inko life, and Deku would basically, I'll give you a gift right now of how what happens when Deku performs this ritual. Okay, I'm sorry for short pause. He would be screaming in pain because the results of it, and the sad thing is, it doesn't even work. The only thing it does is hurts him, and now Inko will be decaying fast, and Deku would cry to himself, please, please. He would pray to God. He would just worship Satan. He would do whatever he could to give him the slightest bit of chance to save his mom. Please. And, well, it doesn't do anything. And Deku's mom is just decaying. And Deku would cry. He would scream. He would growl in pain. I have all this power, yet I can't do anything. What is wrong with me? I long for power, but I can't even do anything with this power. Please, please. And Inko would, well, be gone from Deku's side. And Deku would look around, and he would be perplexed. He did all he could. He had he had power, but he couldn't do anything at all to save his mom. The only one he truly cared about, his mom, and he just sat there, watched. Well, he didn't sat there. He actually tried, but it didn't do anything. And now Deku's mom is dead. And Deku, he would waste the 1 month of getting his composure back. He would sign up for UA, and during the 10-month break, he would like just go to the guy, and he would be like half emotionless, and he would have a lot of motivation. Wait 1 second. Yeah, and he would be training his ass off because this Deku has more motivation than ever. If he couldn't save his mom, the one he cared about the most, with that power, then he says, I'll just get more power. And he just continues to train, get powers. And from the elevator, he just trained over and the slime villain, like the slime and stuff would disappear since it was already it was already gone from like just 1 month. It was already gone, and yeah, I'll be ending this. I'm not with it. Okay, I'm sorry everyone for the unexpected pause. And I guess that's it. I guess show go.
Okay, so yeah, it's basically pretty much just how Lucian explained it, and you have to go one trip as he did in the original, since he was paying attention this time. And so after he finished the theory exam, he would go to the little orientation presentation, whatever thing, and he basically know about the robots, how many points they give, all that. Then he'd go to the gate, and as the countdown would start, they go start to get ready, and
that's where we'll be ending it off. I hope you liked the what if. Thank you, show. Thanks,
and
for absent member Garu for not doing anything, and I guess, and I hope you have a good day. And yeah, bye.
peace.
分かってるってばよ。もうすべての憎しみを人